All right, Shalom. First, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, we out here, just through the Spirit. All right, we're just gonna touch on a few things. All right, as the elder brother was just mentioning. All right, about a heavy chariot presence being around here, which recently the chariots have been showing themselves more and more. Okay, amongst all these events that have been going on in the world, the Lord is showing the supernatural side more and more and more. And now it's becoming to the point where even regular people are seeing them and they're starting to see it for what it is. That's why the Pentagon had to come out and say, look, these chariots are real, because they knew that it will get to a point where they can't hide it anymore and they can't have a scientific explanation for that. So they had to come out and just and put it out there as a disclaimer that if you see them, yeah, they're real. Okay, but the thing about it is that people don't know what they're really here for. People know that chariots, they know that there's some unidentified to them flying objects in the air, but they don't know what it's for, so they get scared.
They changed the name though, through the Spirit. Esau don't call them unidentified flying objects no more. They call them UAPs,
right.
Unidentified aerial phenomena. Now, when you look at it, unidentified, of course, it means you don't know what it is. But aerial just means like in space,
right?
Because it's it moves through the heavens, which is open space. And the phenomenon though, that's what the word you gotta look at. Phenomenon comes from the word phantom. A phantom is a ghost or a spirit. So why is you saying it's unidentified in the first letter, but in the second letter you're gonna call it a spirit? You know what I'm saying? So you identifying it. But you see, Esau plays, with those words. That's why you gotta pay attention to what this devil's saying. First you call it unidentified. Okay, aerial, it's like outer space in the heavens. Okay, we could go with that. But you say it's unidentified, but then you identify it by calling it a spirit. Because a phantom just means ghost, and a ghost, just like you say, Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, is interchangeable. Because a ghost is nothing but a spirit. So Esau know this is a spiritual entity that he's seeing. So because everything is coming out now. It's not an object, it's a phenomenon. It's a spirit. It's an unidentified spirit, but this devil knows it's the spirit of the angels. It's the spirit of the righteous. It's the spirit of Yahushua. That's what it is,
Got a precept. This is Psalms chapter 104, verse 4 or verse 3. It says, "Who layeth the beams of his." Now I start at verse 1. "Bless the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, O my soul. O Lord, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain." All right, which also goes into how it is, because, hey, man, just real quick, in the kingdom, all right, the scriptures say one shall be as a nation, okay? So we're gonna have large families, man. We're going to have a lot of children. Now, there's this problem which, you got this devil, Bill Gates, constantly addressing about overpopulation. Okay, now in the kingdom, if one of us is going to be as a nation, how are we all going to be able to inhabit this earth? All right, it's not going to be possible. That's why the Lord has those other planets out there for us. So as it says, he stretcheth the heavens like a curtain, because there's going to come a time when we're going to be inheriting galaxies, all right, and Milky Ways and all these different celestial environments. Okay?
Yeah, and then they say to dwell in?
No, it just says, "Who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain," and then it goes into the chariot part, which is in verse 3. It says, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." So just like as we're talking about, that's why sometimes the scriptures will refer to the chariots as clouds, all right, because they're usually cloaked in the clouds and they fly within the clouds, all right. It's a cover. Okay, but like
in Exodus, he said, "What a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night."
Yep. So as it says, "Who maketh the clouds his chariot." Okay, that's why we refer to them as chariots. Like the elder just mentioned, they call them unidentified or aerial phenomenon, but we know they're chariots. Okay.
And if I may, even in the beginning of time, the Lord was describing chariots because the Spirit of God, is the Holy Spirit, but it also describes what the Holy Spirit was doing in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep, of the waters. So, you know, during the time of Yahushua, he walked on the water. All right?
What was that?
That was Genesis 1 and 2. And the Spirit of God is the same way. It moved, it hovered across the face of the waters. You understand? And nothing else could do that except but an object that is phenomenal, you know?
Right.
We don't have no crafts that do such things. You know, like they might have airplanes that land on the water with certain kind of flotation devices, but this craft was moving upon the face of it, you know? It didn't have to fly over it. It was like actually hovering and gliding over it, okay? So that's just showing you some of the, you know, the attributes of a chariot, what it can do.
And that word move goes into rakah,
Cop. Yeah.
which means like to hover.
Right.
So I'm gonna do, see, to hover.
Yep.
You know,
That's what they do.
That's right.
That's what they do. That's how they move. You know, and it's so beautiful how you got people stressing over, you know, these kind of cars, you know, Accords and Hondas and all these different things. And this shows you where our mind is, because we looking to have those as our vehicles. You know, actual chariots. Forget getting stuck in traffic. All right, we gonna be up in the air, man. Being able to, man, I don't gotta hit this elder's chariot. I'm gonna just phase through it. You know, the scriptures say they move according to your spirit, as it tells you in the book of Ezekiel.
Right.
Okay, wherever the spirit of the angel wanted to go, that's where the chariots go. That's how they're able to move so fluently. All right, without restrictions, because angels ain't in there like, oh, hold up, pull that, hold up, press the buttons, and you know, trying to steer it. No, it goes based on their spirit.
when
Okay.
you check these cars out, you know, all it is paint and metal.
Right.
You know, when you got, nah, bro, just leave it, bro, because we in this cruise. You know, if they stop on their own, then cool, but we in the spirit. You know, oh yeah, these cars ain't nothing but paint and metal, man. You know, that's what the Lord said, you sold yourself for naught. Then when you get, say you get a car, you get a Bentley or something, you have it for 3 years, you tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even 3 years. Once you drop, man, you get it and you have it for a while, you want something new. Know what I mean? So, and then these cars, they get old, they turn into hoopties fast, man. You start driving them, that's why a lot of, my old boss, he was funny, man. He was a Nigerian cat from the Igbos. He bought him, at the time, it was like a 2010 750, but he never drove it like that. Why? Because he wanted to keep the mileage on his shit down. So he'd always drive like his other cars and drive that like to like certain events. But I'm like, look, you buy a car to drive it. You know what I'm saying? So people make things idols. People buy shoes and never wear them. Put them shits on your feet and wear them shits, man. You know what I'm saying? Rock them shits, fuck them up, buy a new pair. Now, if it's like a highly expensive shoe or something like that, of course you don't wear it like that, but you got people got big ass sneaker collections. You know what I'm saying? That don't even wear them all off of vainglory just to say, look, I got these sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got, man, wear that shit, because all that shit is going to burn up soon. But they inward thought is what, that they, these lands and these cities these kingdoms going to continue forever. Ultimately, that's Esau, but 2/3 you are of your father the devil, so you think the same way. You know, so, but all this carnal shit break down after a while. Even, sneakers, boots and shit. You might wear them the first time. Once you scuff them shits, you like, they old now. Like these boots, I ain't wear these shits more than 20 times. They still type new, but I had scuffed, my tan ones, I had scuffed them shits like the 3rd time wearing them. And really after that, them shits, it's over with. I mean, you could try to get the eraser and, you know, and try to bring them back to shape, but it's carnal things of this world, you know?
Yep.
And that shit passeth away.
You want to bring a
precept on more chariots or whatever.
Yeah,
Spirit
yeah,
work on.
yeah,
This is the
well,
book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself. And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Okay, going into how the chariot was looking. All right, and we see that all the time, man. Sometimes chariots light up. All right, you see them standing in one place and they start blinking and lighting up. But this time, what was revealed to Ezekiel was up close, man. All right, he didn't have to see from miles away like we do right now. Okay, continue. It says what? Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had their likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Okay, going into what? The color of what the angels look like. Okay, and this
Shows
is
you
all
the dark skin.
the dark skin, exactly. And he's giving you all these different personifications, all right, to show you that they're not some angels don't look comely, man. They don't look like how people perceive them to look. You go to these churches, they have naked babies, little white little babies and shit.
Cupids.
Yeah, that's not what angels look like, man. Angels are rough. They look rough. They don't look like regular people that you might you might be like, oh, that's an angel, I'll do whatever I want. Nah, you know, there's many accounts in the scriptures that show you how when people encountered angels, they were shook, man. Okay, continuing, it says verse 8, it says, and they had the hands of a man under their wings, and their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. All right, I'm gonna jump to where the chariots is at. It says jump to verse 14. It says, and the living creature ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning.
That's how fast they move.
Right.
You know,
Verse-
because when you see lightning, you see it for a brief moment. It strikes and then boom, it disappears. Because that's how fast the angels move. You know, there's an account in the New Testament. I believe it was Philip, if I'm not mistaken, when after he had baptized the eunuch, all right, the angel basically transported him through a different dimension. You could say it said Godspeed. All right, and he from 1 second he was in one location, and the next he was in another location. You know, because that's how fast they move. Okay.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Habakkuk.
Yep. Habakkuk. Yep.
I mean, to bring out Hollywood and them understanding the speed and the swiftness of a chariot. The movie War of the Worlds, when the lightning came down, it was bringing the angels
Tom
into the
Cruise.
vehicle.
Yeah.
That's what they was doing, because they slowed the picture down. They slowed it. The news was recording, and they showed in slow motion that it was a being being zapped through the lightning into the ground, where they so-called had the chariots waiting dormant. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the magnificence of the Lord, because it shows you the power that the spiritual has over the carnal. Okay, because Esau has been doing tests. You know, they have this thing called Area 51. We don't know what's there, but through so-called conspiracy theories and people who actually have been there, they've come out and said that they've seen things that's not human-like. Okay, they've seen things, and hey, that could be the Lord showing them that, yo, these are the things that I have. Okay, but you will never amount to the power that I have. Okay, you've had men who have encountered so-called UFOs, chariots. All right, you've had military, the Iranian military. Okay, they came in contact with the chariots, and they got violated, man. You know, this was years ago, but this is all accounts that they have the governments have it classified. Okay, but now they're declassifying because they know that the time is nigh. The angels just keep showing themselves more and more and more. Okay.
Right. Right. There's more on that.
Yeah, just finish it. It says, I'm gonna jump to verse 16. It says, and the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel.
That's right.
Okay.
The wheel in the midst of the wheel. And that's why majority of the chariots you see, or how they depict it, is like you see an outer ring and then you see an inner ring. You know, where the laser beam comes from under that. As a matter of fact, get a Habakkuk.
The horns.
Yep. Habakkuk 3, I think. All right. And that's, yeah, you got it.
And if you even check out a car, it had the wheel, then it had, I think it's called a hub, that bearing right there. You know, when you take off the bolts, say you got a flat, you take the nuts off and change the flat. That's the same concept of the chariot. You know, even anything you use now that's why nothing new under the sun. Anything you use now for transportation move in a circular type motion.
Right.
You know, like roller skates is on what wheels. You got that wheel and you had that bearing in the middle. Roller skates, you got propellers for planes. Even though a plane goes straight, but in order for it to go straight, it propels in a circular motion. Helicopters, they can hover and do all of that, but it got a blade that goes in a circular motion. A boat, even though you're on a boat and you're going straight, but what's pushing that boat forward is the motor, and the motor goes it got blades that spin in a circular motion. So all forms of transportation is mimicked by after the chariots, by the design of the chariots, because that's the original form of transportation. And even when you get into the today, the way you say chariot is rakab. You know what I'm saying? And even today, when you get in a cab, that's when you get the word cab from chariot, rakab. You say, where my cab at? And that's the word rakab coming from the word chariot. And when your cab comes, you will tell somebody, hey, my ride is outside. Because chariot also means ride. You know what I'm saying? So cab and ride is interchangeable. Because nobody going to say, I thought you said your cat was here. You'd be like, I did, but why you say your ride is outside? Because it's interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our ride up out of here, and that's the rakab, the cab, when you call a cab, the rakab, which is a chariot, but that's a carnal chariot. And it got the driver inside to take you wherever you want, like it got the angels inside to take us up out of here.
Yep.
I just wanted to mention also, in the vehicle, most vehicles have engines. And on the engine, you got that belt that's moving in a circular manner too.
The timing belt.
There you go. And then the pistons, they're circular too. That's all.
Because all forms of transportation is mimicked behind the design of the chariot, which is the original form of movement. And even if you run, like you watch the road runner, he runs so fast that his legs turn into a wheel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which is it all goes back to the foundation, man.
Yep. Hey man, these chariots, man, that's how you know. You know, Esau talks about he has angels and chariots in Area 51. That's BS. All right, you can't even touch the chariots, man. All right, they play around with you. Okay, so that's all BS. They don't have any angels or aliens in Area 51. That's all made up. You got it.
Precept. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, a prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shigionoth. O Lord Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known.
Right, and that's what the Lord is doing now. Okay, he's reviving his work in the midst of the years. When you read in the book of Peter, all right, it tells you that they said that since the fathers fell asleep, all things continued as they were. But now the Lord is reviving it. He's stirring it back up, which includes the supernatural. Because when you go back to the ancient world, it was common. Seeing angels, it's not like if I came and told you I saw an angel, you'd be like, what are you talking about? You know, you'd be, oh, sure, an angel, but you believe it because it was common. You know, chariots, supernatural things. But now, because of Esau's vibration, the spirituality has gone so low. That's why Yahushua said, when I come, shall I find faith on earth? Because nobody has faith nowadays, if not for the Lord's elect. Okay?
Hey, and that's why those angels, when they made themselves, when they came to Abraham, he brought them into his house because he understood who they were. Okay, based off of the message that they had. You know what I'm saying? He even pled with them. He bargained. He tried to bargain with them, and at the end, they had to do what they had to do. But imagine now, angels coming to brothers now and trying to bargain. You know, it's like it's almost impossible to think about. Okay, and that's going back to what the brother said. The vibration of spirituality on this earth has gone low, man, in terms of righteousness. Okay, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, the elect are raising up the awareness of what righteous righteous doings. Okay, and that's why you see this kingdom going down as it is. All right, a lot of our people are waking up. You got Ice Cube, okay, going on social media and posting a lot of things about how these so-called Jewish people are not the real Jews. Okay, bringing out
Fantasia.
Exactly. Yeah, she talked about how she's an Israelite. She's a child of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And these are all people that are reverenced in the world. Okay, and I believe, Ice Cube, he could be a plant. He could be, they could have been controlling him, or he could be.
Don't be surprised. You go in the kingdom, you see certain celebrities there.
You know,
because not everybody You know, because Jake got that rebellious spirit, but not every single body just bought and paid for. You got some of them that's really sincerely rebelling, or like just trying to throw shit out there that's really not with this system.
Right.
So don't be surprised if you see, you know, like one of them as a 1/3 or something in the kingdom. You know?
Brandon T. Jackson.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Brandon T. Jackson.
I don't know if he's still in the truth.
I just saw a recent video of him. He was fired up. You know, I don't know who he subscribed to, but he still got that zeal.
Yeah.
According to
He had like a white shirt on.
yeah.
I
He
saw
was
that.
fiery in that video.
Yeah,
He was
word
pissed
up.
off.
Yeah, kinda.
You know, so Ice Cube, for example, he's coming out, he's talking, you know, and hey, he could very well, like the elder said, he could very well be tired of the system. He's like, you know what? I see America going down. I'm not scared about them blackmailing me no more. So fuck it. I'm just coming out and saying the truth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was down with the truth the whole time, but he was scared that his career might take a hit if he was to come out and say
But
what he's
once you
saying.
live in that career life for so long, you don't care about
Yeah,
this
right.
shit. That's what I was saying earlier about material things. You know, once you had that shit for so long, you don't care about it no more. You know, it don't, like, you feel like, especially Jake, you feel empty inside. You're like, yeah, there's something missing from my life.
Right.
You know? This is a popular song on She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. Now, Esau sang that, but he don't tell you the original root of the song. You know, this from Wikipedia. She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain sometimes refers to coming around the mountain as a traditional folk song, often characterized as children music. The song is derived from the Christian spiritual known as When the Chariot Comes. You know, the first appearance She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain in part was in Carl Sandburg, the American Songbag in 1927, When the Chariot Comes, which was sung to the same melody, was adopted by railroad workers in the Midwestern United States during the 1890s. And basically, it's talking about the fathership. You know, when Yahushua come around driving the fathership. You know, and speaking of the fathership, all of this really went down and happened after they saw that big chariot in the heavens that they said was the size of the planet Earth. So I think the Lord showed them that, and after that, these devils sped up with their plans on the shit they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this devil was moving at his own pace, you know, because in their heart, they kingdom gonna go on forever. But so the Lord possibly showed them something that made them put their foot on the gas, man. Because ever since that fathership revealed itself in the heavens, this devil just been moving like lightning. You know what I'm saying? He dropped that virus. You know what I mean? Everything. He just been pushing through with his so-called New World Order.
Right. Hey, and it's like the scriptures say, Esau is attributed to like a serpent. Right? The scriptures talk about Esau as a serpent, man. And serpents, they're very patient animals. Okay, they don't rush, they don't do things in haste. They take their time. They can go 3 months without eating. All right, they just be waiting for prey. But once they get threatened, they move fast. You see a serpent, they just they uncall themselves and they just dip.
Yep.
You see a serpent like coiled up, and then it sees a farmer or whatever. It's like, oh shit, that's a threat, and they start moving quick. You be like, damn, I didn't know snakes were that fast because they move so slow.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
and that's what Esau is doing right now because he sees that his kingdom, his habitation is being threatened. Okay, by a higher power. So he's like, nah, I gotta move fast. So boom, like lightning, man. You be like, damn, where the hell did this nigga go? You know what I'm saying?
Information itself, period. His
Right.
kingdom is being threatened by information alone. Like Hillary came out and said we losing the info wars. You know what I'm saying? So, because the average person, even 2/3 is becoming conscious to a certain level. You know? So, you know, this devil, he trying to plan certain things out, but he's gonna lose control over it. You know, and things gonna spin in the direction that the Lord wanted to spin. But this to back the brother up, this serpent from the Webster's Dictionary, a large snake, but it also says in definition 2, a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it,
Yeah, and that's
which is who? Esau.
Yeah.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what Esau is doing, man. You know, he's planted a lot of traps. Okay, and now he's just taking the traps out, and you can see how it's unfolding. It's like a domino effect. All right, first they put everybody in the house, all right, for 3 months, 4 months, and then all of a sudden they said you could go out there and protest. but people are not really thinking like, yo, what does this all mean? And we've been coming out here for years talking about how this all leads to one thing, the mark of the beast, okay, the RFID microchip. And they've been saying it. Trump said it like a microchip. He said that, you know, and it's almost like a game, but they're showing you. Bill Gates, all right, he keeps coming out saying it. Elon Musk keep coming out doing all these technological stuff, but they've came out and said, look, until you take that chip, we're not gonna let you enjoy your life, man. You know, he said you might have openings, all right, but it's not gonna be on a grand scale like the old world how it used to be. Okay, so right now you can see how the serpent is showing his serpentine ways, man. Okay, he's using words. All right, they'll come out. We did a video on it about the Insurrections Act. All right, so it's like they have all these plans. Like I said, they set the traps years and years ago, where people don't even think about it. You know, what is Posse Comitatus? What is the Insurrections Act? They have all these different executive orders that they've signed. All right, this is all part of the venom of the snake. And soon, when they strike, a lot of people gonna get killed with that venom, man.
Right.
Okay, and ultimately, that's that RFID chip. Okay.
Yep, the snare of the fowler.
Right.
You know, that's why King David asked the Lord to deliver him from the snare of the fowler. Because their one main advantage as well is patience.
Right.
All right. That's why they have that thing called gradualism, because they're able to wait a long time. Like you said about the serpent. You know, the snakes can wait a long time, and over time you let your guard down because you get tired of having your guard up, and so you think, all right, maybe he stopped. When the whole time you letting your guard down was a part of his plan.
Actually, yeah, when you look at snakes, how they, like I watched a video of a guy feeding his snake mouse, and the snake didn't attack the mouse for 5 minutes until it let it guard down, and then it struck.
Boom. Yep. Yep.
Man, that's heavy. That's heavy. And this when it says he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, the word causes paraio, right? And it says with the names of things made to produce, to construct, to form, or to fashion, you know? So when it says he calls it all, yeah, of course at some point he gonna try to force it and kill you off, but that's gonna be like the bitter end. But this devil is gradually moving in. That's why the word causes is make sure I'm pronouncing it right.
Strong's G 4160.
Poeo.
Poeo.
Right, so because we get that scripture a lot, but we never a lot of times look into that word cause. And when you go into the word cause, it says to produce, to construct, to form, or to fashion. You know? So he's gonna to form something, you know, you don't just form something like out of nowhere, you build it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's that mark of the beast. You know, he's gonna form that mark of the beast and that image of the beast in your mind. And you know what I mean? Until it actually becomes a reality. Like Walmart, when Walmart first came out, people hated Walmart.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was against it. Oh, it's gonna destroy all the businesses and all that. And they wanted Walmart out, but now everybody loves Walmart. Like it gradually grew on them. Same thing with credit cards. People hated credit cards. They was against it. They was this and that. But later, slowly but surely, it gradually grew on you. Like songs on the radio, like that Pop Smoke song. I'm like, man, I
don't know
hate
what he's
that
saying.
fucking song.
I don't know
But
what
for
he's
me
saying.
playing the radio so much, I find myself, that shit come on, I be like, then I get on myself, why you bumping this dumb shit? So, this devil that's part of his witchcraft. Right quick, this is the word form, right? Synonyms, right? Just to get some more edification. So it says, paraio, to construct, to form, right? So I just put in form synonyms. It says to shape. You know what I mean? So this devil will put like, everything is a cashless society now. So he's shaping the chip in your mind already. You know, laundromats. Very few laundromats use quarters. You know what I mean? You could really find them. Everything is the card.
Right.
Your laundry card. quarter arcade games. They don't have that no more. If you want to play video games, you got to go to Dave and Buster's, and they use what the car.